Welcome back to our review. We're going to continue today with the odds. Okay, starting with number 1. It says to find the degree of the monomial, we have to add the degree of the two exponents together. That makes 11. Number 3, 6 and 3 is 9. It gives me a 2 and a 3. So the highest exponent of each individual monomial is a 9. Number 5, I have to write this in standard form. So in order to do so, I need to start from the highest exponent and work my way down. Okay, so the highest exponent here is going to be a 5. That makes 12, negative 12x to the 5th. The next exponent would be 4, so that's 2x to the 4th. Then minus 5x to the 3rd. X squared would be next, 3x squared, minus 8x, and minus 6. The leading coefficient would be negative 12. Number 7, looking at the highest exponent is a 2. That makes it a quadratic. And there are 3 terms making it a trinomial. Number 9, classifying this one. The highest degree, let's see, these make a 6, a 5, and a 4. The highest degree is 6, so we're going to call this a 6th degree. That's for anything more than 5. There are 3 terms, so this one is also going to be a trinomial. Number 11, adding and subtracting monomials. I just need to add the exponents that are the same. So this is 4t to the 5th and 8t to the 5th, which is 12t to the 5th. I have a negative 6t squared and another negative t squared. That makes minus 7t squared. Number 13, I'm going to add these two polynomials together. Since it's addition, I can just drop the parentheses and add what's left. That's 5c to the 5th and another c to the 5th makes 6c to the 5th. Whoa! And then minus c put with plus 7c makes 6c. And then the constant on the end is going to be a minus 2. Number 15 has a subtraction sign. I have to distribute the subtraction to each term. So that's going to be 8b to the 4th minus b to the 3rd minus b to the 4th minus 4b to the 3rd and plus 4. Putting it in standard form, just start with the highest exponent and work your way down. There are no other b to the 4th, so this is going to be 8, b to the 4th, then minus b to the 3rd. Time out. There is 2b to the 4th, so I'm going to take this 8b to the 4th and minus this b to the 4th. Let's make a do-over. Minus 10, Miss Winship. So that's 7b to the 4th minus 5b to the 3rd and plus 4. I hope y'all are on your A game this morning because I keep missing things. Okay. Number 17 has a toy rocket. We need to plug in to find the value after 3 seconds. So I'm going to take my negative 16, multiply it by 3 squared. So I have to square the 3 first. And then 90 times the same 3, and then plus 34. Typing it into my handy-dandy calculator, I get 160 feet. Second question is, what is the meaning of t equals 0? Well, t equals 0 is going to give me a 0 here, a 0 here, and only a 34. Well, the 34 is the starting height of my toy rocket. Number 19. This one's also pretty easy. I need to plug in a 0. If I plug in a 0, this term goes to 0, this term goes to 0, and this term goes to 0, leaving me with $0.8 million for a 0-year-old company. A new company worth $0.8 million. That's pretty good. All right, I accidentally did this problem on the even video, but I'm sure it didn't hurt you at all. Okay, let's see if I can do an even better job this time. I have a square hot tub. Don't know the dimensions of this, so I'm going to call it X. Around that, I'm going to enclose it with a fence. This is not a very good diagram. On one side, the fence is going to extend 2 feet on each side. On the other side, it's going to extend 4 feet. Now I need to know the total length here, so watch this as I go. If this is 4 feet, the middle part is X because I don't know what it is, and the last part is the second part of the fence, which is 4 feet. So the length of this long side is going to be X plus 8. That's the X for the hot tub, the 4 on each side. Now let's go across. This side is 2 feet from the side. This is also 2 feet. The middle is what? X. So we have X plus 2, which gives me X plus 4. Now, if I keep reading in the problem, it says that I have a total of 44 feet of fencing. Well, the word fencing immediately tells you that this is a perimeter. So I need to find the perimeter of the outside of the fence. I have 2 lengths of X plus 4. I have 2 lengths of X plus 8. And the total is 44 feet of fencing. Now I'm going to distribute while I try to solve this equation. 2x and 2x is 4x. Subtract the 24, and 4x equals 20, so x is 5. Now it asks to find the dimensions of the hot tub. Well, the dimensions of the hot tub are 5 by 5. Final answer. Number 23. This is 3 monomials multiplied together. There's no double distributing or FOIL because there are no addition signs. I need to take the coefficients and multiply them together. 9 goes into 18, 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Now add the p exponents, so that gives me p to the 6th. The r exponents, that's r to the 7th. And then the z, which will be z to the 8th. Moving on to 25, I'm going to do a box with this problem. Now, many of you don't have to do anything. You are just doing these in your head, which is fabulous. Y times y is y to the 2nd. 3 times y is 3y. We have a 2y and a 6. Combining like terms, that's y squared plus 5y plus 6. 27, this is a double stuffed Oreo problem. So our shortcut is to square the first, 36w squared. Square the last, skip the creamy filling, square the last, that gives me 36z squared. Multiply 6 times 6, that's 36wz. And then I need to double that, which makes 72wz. Final answer. 29. Oh, this is going to be fun. I did this one on Friday, but let's do it again. I have to cube this. Well, my easiest way of doing that is to group 2 of them together first, and then I'm going to go back and do one more 9x plus 5y. I'm going to try something. Somebody said if I do that, it would disappear. Okay, it's not working. So that is gone. Okay, now I need to square all of these. So that's going to be 81x squared, creamy filling, 25y squared. Now I need to double the middle. 9 times 5 is 45. Then I need to double that. That makes 90xy. Okay, so 9 times 5, 45. Double that because you have 2 of them in the middle. Okay, now I need to multiply that answer by 9x plus 5y. So I think what I'm going to do is right here fill in 9x plus 5y. I'm going to make a giant box and hoping that everything fits. Now I'm going to pretend like you know the answers to these multiplication problems. It's kind of large, but I've already done those calculations, so I'm going to fill them in as I go. 81 multiplied by where am I at? Here we go. 81 squared multiplied by 9 is 729x to the third. 90xy times 9 is 810x squared y. 25 times 9 is 225xy squared. 5y times 81x squared is 405x squared y. 5y times 90 is 450xy squared, and 25 times 5y is 125y to the third. Now, combining like terms on all of these different terms, we're going to end up with 729x cubed. Add these together, that gives me 1,215x squared y. Adding these together, no, I cannot add those together, can I? X squared, oh, yes I can. Putting those two together, you know what I was looking for? I was making sure that these two were the same so that I could add them together. That gives me 675xy squared. And then on the end, 125y to the third. Well, that was fun. All right. Number 31. We have a very similar problem, but it looks a little bit easier. It looks like we're not going to have such difficult numbers. So I'm going to take d minus 6 and square it, and then I'm going to do one more d minus 6 after that. So square these. I'm going to get, square the d, I get d squared. Square the negative 6, that gives me plus 36. That is negative 6d. Double that, and that gives me minus 12d. Okay, then I need to multiply that by d minus 6. Filling in my box. I always do boxes with binomial times a trinomial. Okay, d times d squared is d to the third. D times negative 12d is going to be negative 12d squared. 36d, 6 times d squared, don't forget the negative, negative 6d squared. 6 times 12 is 72d, and 6 times 36 is going to be a negative 216. Combining like terms, I have d cubed. My goodness, Winship, this has a squared on it. D times 12d squared is 12d squared. Minus 18d squared. Here I have 72 and 36, which is 108d, and then minus 216 on the end. Now, it's okay to make mistakes as long as you go back and find your mistakes. Have you seen I'm trying to check them as I'm putting them together? Number 33. I'm going to multiply FOIL this time. Q to the fourth times q to the fourth is q to the eighth. You're adding exponents when you multiply. Outside is going to be negative 5q to the fourth. Inside is going to be 5q to the fourth. That one's a positive. And on the end, which is last, minus 25. I notice that the oi cancels, so I am left with q to the eighth minus 25. On number 35, I have a monomial multiplied by a binomial, which means I need to distribute. Multiply coefficients, add the exponents. Negative 4a to the seventh, b to the fourth, minus 4a to the sixth, b to the 11th. Okay, now if you look at those, you cannot add those together because the exponents are not exactly the same. 37, I have to multiply length times width times height. Okay, when I do this, it is a triangular prism, so I am going to have to eventually divide by 2. So volume of a triangular prism is 1/2 length times width times height. Okay, so I'm going to multiply first the x plus 1 multiplied by 2x plus 1. The next thing I'm going to do is multiply the answer to this by 5x minus 1. So this is going to be 2x squared. 1 times x is x. 1 times 2x is 2x. And 1 times 1 is 1. That gives me 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. Kind of checking my work as I go. Now I need to multiply that by 5x minus 1. You having fun yet? Thank you for being here with me and trying so hard. 5x times 2x squared is 10x cubed. 5x times 3x is 15x. 5x times 1 is 5x. Now I'm going to distribute a -1, so that's going to be negative 2x squared, a negative 3x, and -1. Putting it all together, I have a 10x cubed, a 10x cubed to lead it off. Oh my goodness, I'd made another mistake. I keep leaving off that x squared. Then I need to add these two together and give me 17x squared. 5x take away 3x is 2x, and then minus 1 on the end. Now what did I forget to do? I need to half everything because a triangular prism is half of a rectangular prism. Final answer, 5x cubed plus 6.5x squared plus x minus 0.5. Okay, stick with me. This problem has several different steps that we're going to have to work through. Okay, first of all, I need to draw a picture. I have a square pool and I have an x by x. I want to draw a walkway around this pool. So I'm going to go all the way around. One side is 2 feet. The other side is 4 feet. Okay, so here we go. I need to find, I'm going to have to end up finding the perimeter and the area. So in order to do that, I need to find the lengths of each of these. So this is 2, this is 2, that adds up to 4, and the distance across the pool is x. So, this is going to be x plus 4. Looking up and down, I have 4 this way and 4 this way. That makes 8. So that's going to be x plus 8. The perimeter of the walkway is going to be 2x plus 4 plus 2x plus 8. 2x plus 8 plus 2x plus 16, 4x plus 24. Okay, now we have to find the area of the walkway. So what I need to do now is multiply the two dimensions. My two dimensions are x plus 4 and x plus 8. If I multiply the x times the x, that gives me x squared. X times 8 is 8x. 4 times x is 4x. And 4 times 8 is 32. Adding like terms, that gives me x squared plus 12x plus 32. Now I have to find the value of x if the total perimeter is 44. So now I'm going back to the perimeter. 4x plus 24 is equal to 44. Minus 24 from each side, and 4x is 20. X equals 5. So we did find the value of x. Okay, this number 41 is an example of a problem that you have the skills to deal with. You've just got to figure out how to do the entire problem using a formula you're not really used to. Okay, I gave you the formula on this one. The formula is 1/2 the height, and then base 1 plus base 2. You can also look at it as height times base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. So however you want to look at that is fine. All right, I have a trapezoid. It tells me to draw a picture, so I better draw a picture so my teacher doesn't get mad. The height in a trapezoid is this piece right here that has a right angle to the base. Okay, one base is 4 inches shorter than the height. So if this is h, the height, I'm going to say this base is h minus 4. I'm not really sure. The other base is going to be 5 times longer than the height. So I'm going to say this bottom part is 5 times h. All right, let's go. So that is going to be, I think I like this formula, the way this formula is written better. Height multiplied by base 1, which is 5h, plus base 2, which is h minus 4, all divided by 2. Okay, so that's going to give me, I need to distribute 5h squared. Oh, time out, guys. I always tell you. Oh, look, it disappeared. Look inside first. Your teachers have always told you to do the parentheses first. So that's equal to h times 6h minus 4 divided by 2. Now I need to distribute, so that is 6h squared minus 4h divided by 2. Now I can divide by 2 as long as I can divide both of these by 2. And that gives me 3h squared minus 2h. All right, last one, number 43. Okay, let's look at this diagram. The only thing I didn't do was leave a tiny little space right here for the x. So the swimming pool is 4x plus 2 feet by 3x plus 8 feet. We're going to put this uniform walkway all the way around, and we don't know the width of it, so we're going to call the width of each of these x. Okay, I need to find the length of this side. To find that, this little piece right here is x. The long piece is 4x plus 2. And then we have another width of a walkway, which is x. Okay, so I need to add all of those x's together. 4x and x. Another x would be 6x plus 2. Now I'm kind of working in this b right here, 6x plus 2. Okay, now I've got to find the expression for the length of this other side. So I've got 3x plus 8 here in the middle. On each side of the 3x plus 8, I have another part which has a fence, which is going to be x. So across this way, I have a 3x plus 8. The fence section on the end is x here and x here. Altogether, that's going to be 3x, which is 5x plus 8. Okay, now I need to write an expression for the perimeter. For the perimeter, I have 2 6x plus 2's, and I have 2 5x plus 8's. Okay, then I need to distribute. That's 12x plus 12 plus 10x plus 16. That gives me 22x plus 20. Now it wants me to write an expression for the area of the entire region. So the entire region is going to be the length and the width with the fence. So I've got to multiply 6x plus 2 multiplied by 5x plus 8. Pick any method you'd like to use and begin multiplying those two polynomials. 6x times 5x gives me 30x squared. 2 times 5x is 10x. 6 times 8 is 48x. And then 2 times 8 is 16. Adding all of those pieces together, I get 30x squared plus 58x plus 16. Okay, it looks like we're done. That's the final answer to the problem, and those are all of the answers to the odds. Come in the morning at 6:40 and we will have another review. Have a great evening.